Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another office video, office smartphone video. Different women go for different types of men. Now, this is similar to what I was saying a few weeks ago. I was talking about different women going for different body types, but I said I'd get a little bit deeper. Oh, and as far as me doing this office video, well, let's just say different things happening this week. So, schedule's a little bit off, so I got to do things a little differently. I might try to get a couple car videos in there, but you know this it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, check it out, right? I wanted to really talk about that because a lot of guys will hit me up privately or even publicly talking about like women of this or women of that, but all women ain't the same. Because first of all, there's 4 billion women in the world. They all aren't the same. They all don't like the same type of man. you know? And, at first I was going to call this joint Stop Worrying About Women Going for Bad Men. Because guys be complaining about, well, women going for Pookie and Ray Ray, or even women going for Chad and Tyrone and all of that. All women don't go for the same man. Don't worry about it. Really, if you're talking about the game of man gets woman, you only got to worry about yourself and the type of women you can attract. That's why I always talk about a tribe. The tribe is just the type of women that are attracted to you. And I don't care who you are. See, I don't care who you are. You could be a corporate man. You could be an anime loving gamer. You can get something. You just got to figure out what. In fact, I was looking at something on IG, and it was a clip from this Blurred conference, Black Nerd conference. There was a lot of women there. Now, a dude would go in there, he might have to cosplay as some character or something, but he could get played like a champ, and that's the thing. That is the thing. Every man gets a different type of woman. And I got to emphasize that. I'm even talking about that, especially about black nerds or nerds, period. Really, on my Patreon coming up this Friday. So check that out. But when you talk about different women, they're going to look at different things because all women aren't alike. Now, I've talked about class several times. Like you got lower class women, you got upper class women. They gonna go for different types of men. I don't care what you say, they ain't gonna go for it. Even when some guys have tried to say, well, I've seen some upper class women go for Pookie and Ray Ray. First of all, let's use that for an example. If you see a woman, upper class woman, going for some guy who look like he's some street dude or something like that, the main question you ask is where that woman's from. Who were the first men she had sex with? Because a lot of those, you got some upper class women, they came from around the way. And they just hiding everything, but they still turned on by that. I've met a couple women like that. Yeah, they PhDs, they up there and everything, but you still had to have some hood from them. But you talk to them, they from the hood. Dealt with some of them. Trust me. And so you always got to look at it. But then dealt with some other women, they ain't come from that environment. You had to hit them differently. You had to talk to them differently and everything. See, one thing I've seen, and I've said this thousands of times, just how I was brought up, I was dealing with different classes. So I saw different types. Different types of women they're going to go for. Different races, different religions are going to go for that, right? It's always different. Every woman is not the same. Heck, if you've had sex enough, hell, their vaginas ain't the same. So how are they the same? You're going to get different types, different body types of women. They're going to go for different types of men, different body types. Within the race, definitely different ethnic groups, everything. I don't care what it is. Shoot, different hair colors. They're going to go for different types of men. As a man, all you have to do is figure out which type of women find you attractive. What is your tribe? What is your group? You know? Now, some of the stuff I do give, I still give some basics. I give some basics. Like you should like fix up. But like I said before when I did that video about body types, have your best body. Some women like a slim dude, some women like a big old dude. You just got to figure out which women like you. And if you don't like the women that you getting, you might have to change up some stuff because part of it is physical. Part of it is physical. But part of it is just mindset. You know? Like, I just saw some, I was checking on my Facebook. Yeah, I still got Facebook. I keep up, older folks, keep up with each other and everything, right? And this dude was talking about this woman. I'm not going to call the woman's name, but she's more on the intellectual side. He's like, yeah, I really like her. She's intellectual. I'm intellectual. So if you got an intellectual woman, she typically is going to want an intellectual type of man, or you get some of these nerdy women, or you get a creative woman, she going to want a creative type of man, So the key is not so much what the woman is about, is what you're about as a man, what you're about. The game is really inside of you. Shout out Mr. Lucario. He always says the game is within you, Shout him out. But that's the truth, though. Because you got to say, okay, what is it as a man that you are? What is it you want? And then what type of women fit into that? When I'm seeing out and about, even to this day, when I see different women, I can look at them and say, no, not her, not her. Oh, okay, maybe her, maybe her. Or, I'll see different women. I say, okay, I got to switch up here, or I got to give this. Like I said, just growing up in different environments, I can switch up if I need to. Code switch if I need to. But most dudes ain't into that. Or most dudes can't do that, and you don't really need to. What type of man are you? What type of man are you? What are you into? Like that gamer thing. You might be into gamers. There's plenty of women out there, they into some gaming too. Or you might be like that intellectual type of guy, Like on IG, I follow a couple like intellectuals and stuff, and so I know the type of women they would get, and they would stick with that. That's the type of woman that would click with them, more intellectual type. Or you get some of these thug dudes out there. Who do these thugs dudes, these hood dudes, trailer park dudes usually get any damn way? They get women in there. Even and that's regardless of race, because I said even with that thing with Chad, like Chad, let's just use the Chad example. I guarantee you heard it here first. I guarantee if Chad go in a trailer park area or poor area, he ain't gonna get over as well. He ain't gonna get over as well if he go in there like all clean cut and all of that. The women gonna be like whatever, while they smoking their cigarettes, drinking something. Nah, they probably look at him like, but then if he come in there, he got some facial hair and all of that, got some tats, got a certain speech intonation. Shoot, because it's going to be different. In fact, the other day I remember I was pulling up to my garage and had somebody move in next door into the townhouse next door to me, and it had a white guy. He was out there. He was putting in some cable. I can tell from his speech intonation, he probably get those trailer park type of women. It was nothing against him, because that's what he was presenting. From his speech intonation, from how he was interacting and everything, even how he looked, that was more that trailer park type. He probably wouldn't be that type who's going into some like upper middle class area, See, as a man, you got to first look at yourself, though. You got to look at yourself. Like all women ain't going to like you, and they don't need to like you. 4 billion women in the world. If you got a few thousand, that's still a lot. So you got to be thinking, okay, what's your class? What do you like to do? Whatever. Because that woman need to be in cooperation with your operation. I want y'all to think about that. She need to be in cooperation with your operation. It ain't you can't change for her. Because you get some dudes out there thinking, well, all these women like thugs or something like that. You got some dudes probably getting some, put some tattoos on them or trying to talk a certain way. That's not them. You know? What I talked about earlier in this joint, you know? You got like, I saw this clip on IG featuring not just nerds, but black nerds. So somebody could fit in there, they should. And shit, some of the women in there were fine in this thing. It was just a conference for them, a blurred con, right? So some of the guys that these women could get or would be attracted to probably be nerdy too. And I've seen that. I've seen couples. Trust me, I've seen tons of couples. Whenever I look at a couple, you know, I've known some like women who were like very educated. The type of guys they typically go for were similar. In fact, the best way to understand what a woman to go for is a type of, if you talk to any woman, find out who she was around when she was a teenager. Find out the type of men who imprinted her. And let me be clear, the imprint is not one man, but 2 to 3 men. 3 men just to be safe. That's the imprint. It's not just one man. The imprint is not one man. Remember, I'm the one who introduced imprint to this whole space. So I'm the one who knows what's up. All right? So I want y'all to think about that. If you want to know what type of, you can look at a woman, like what type of hair she wears, like all of that. Learn to read her and all of that. I get deep in all of this week on my Patreon. Y'all need to join that. Y'all need to join that. But look, seriously. But that's the bottom line, though. You know, as a man, don't worry about who going for whoever. As a man, don't worry about some woman going for some Chad. As a man, don't worry about some woman going for some Pookie. You know, that's her. In fact, if I talk to any woman, I can already tell what she about by who she going for. You know, she might go for a religious guy. Like I always talk about my young friend. She finally getting married and everything. Engaged to get married. Who got that ring on her finger? A religious guy. In fact, I used to mess with her because I used to say, yeah, you know you going for that Muslim guy. She said, stop playing, Ron. Stop playing. Shoot, that's something too. That's something too, because I've known some Muslim women. They looking at that guy, that Muslim guy. That's the thing. That's what you got to understand. See, you don't worry about the other man. He gonna get his. You just worry about getting yours. The only time, in fact, even in cases where it's a type of woman who fits right into what you like and she with another man, you don't worry about it because it's a big group of them. It's 4 billion women in the world. It's 4 billion women. You don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. You worry about your tribe. And see, that starts from you. That starts from who's going to be in cooperation with your operation. Because one of the saddest things I see is some man changing up for women. Yeah, you want to be basic clean. You want to be basic in your shape, but shoot, you can't do it. Like if we're going to talk about body types, if I want to be real slim, I want to get those women going to be real slim. That ain't going to happen. Because I did not look, y'all remember when I had that stroke and then I couldn't eat for a couple months. And I got real tiny. I got real small. I was not looking healthy. I had some women saying I was looking emaciated. That's not me. That's not me. And then I ain't no thug. So if I see a woman, she want to emancipate it, but real slim man, I'm like, I ain't trying to get there. Or she wants some thug or something, I ain't a thug. You know? Because anybody who's followed me a long time, know I be having like all this stuff up here. I got all those books and stuff. I'm a reader. Shoot. A hot day for me is going to a bookstore. Shoot. And that's me. If a woman ain't down for it, I ain't gonna change up. I ain't gonna act like, oh, I don't read, I don't do it. Man, please. And that's how every single man gotta be. That woman gotta be in a good relationship with you. You know? And you need to be focused. Don't worry about the woman who, if you see that woman with some thug or whatever, let her go. Or some pretty boy, if you ain't some pretty boy, okay. You know? You wanna be who you wanna be, get into what you get into, and you want that woman who is gonna be in cooperation with your operation, whatever you doing. Alright? But see, that focus begins with yourself, with the man in the mirror. You don't worry about the other thing. And nah, every woman ain't gonna like you. And you don't need them to. You don't need to waste your time that way. You know, you only need the women who are down for your program, what you trying to do, where you trying to go. You know? Because I've talked about that several times. Because I said, I'm still somebody who, I'm into science fiction and everything. I still collect comic books. The type of women who are down for me, I'm a writer. They were women who were supportive of writers. They were women into comic books. They were women into science fiction. And that's how you gotta be. I ain't worried about the rest. I ain't worried about some women going for some thug. I ain't no thug. I can handle myself in a thuggish environment, but I ain't no thug. I ain't a different race either. Because that's even racially. I'm a black man. And I don't have no problems with that. And if I meet some women who got a problem with that, regardless of her race, because even some black women can have a problem with that. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta be. It's about you. Different women go for different types of men. You just gotta figure out what type of women going for who you are. Alright? So that's all I have for today. I might do a car video tomorrow. Like I said, I don't feel the need to share everything with y'all. I don't feel the need to. I don't need to, all right? So I got some different stuff. So maybe I'll do a car video tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. It's one of those weeks. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.